You stupid kids. I do.
I wonder if there's a way that. I'm not eating the camera. Guys are weird.
You are weird.
I know I'm weird. I talk to the voices in my head very often. They give me weird thoughts and ideas. Most of them turn out bad for me, though.
Sounds a little. Look, I'm not going to judge one for their thoughts. To be honest, you have your
I'm the
whatever
crazy
fantasies
person.
that you have.
What? Fantasies?
Oh no, the way you phrase that's about like what the voices are telling you to do. I mean,
Do I listen to what the voices tell me to do?
I don't know. Do you?
I'm gonna grab your shoe.
Red
Can I
Cat
have the
kicks you
shoe?
off. What are you doing?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. I'm just trying to grab your shoe.
What are
There's
your
nothing wrong
little
with it.
voices in your head have a thing for the shoes and feet and stuff like that? Are they those kind of crazy people?
I don't know. I don't know. Can I have your shoe?
No, I'm not giving you my shoe. I don't know what you're gonna do with it. I don't know what the voices in your head are gonna tell you to do with my shoe.
Either. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it either. Maybe I don't know. Throw it in a river or something. I don't know. Throw it at someone. Probably. If I get it, I'll probably throw it at Michael.
Good morning.
The voices in my head told me to take a shoe, and I tried taking shoe.
You know, I think sometimes you should probably exert some control over the voices in your head.
Mm.
You know, put your foot down.
They probably have good ideas once in a while. I mean, you can trust them.
Yeah, but that's why you put control over it, because you can't always trust the voices in your head.
I mean, they're not always bad, right? I mean,
thank you.
Well, how do you know that they're not Fae trying to trick you?
It could be that. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna try to do the church service today. I kind of didn't want to do it yesterday because I felt like everyone was in a bad mood after the Eska thing and the whole, communing with the dreamer when people aren't really being positive kind of seems like a bad idea based off of, the teachings. So we'll do that today. We'll try to be positive. We'll do some things that hopefully gets everyone into better spirits. And then I think we'll go into the basement of the church and just have a nice little quiet,
Cast a
almost
summoning
nappy
circle
time.
for demons. Oh hell yeah!
What?
No, it's more like
What?
just thinking about protecting the
I didn't say
town.
nothing.
Just a general vibe of protection for the town. I got sleepy time mushroom ready to go, so I think I can just spore everybody and we can get all sleepies in there.
I'm going to fall on my face.
Well, you could lay down first.
I could. Or I could totally just fall over. Maybe land specifically on top of someone. That'd be pretty funny. Injure them.
I mean, if they're okay with that. I know some people like sleeping with other people's.
Oh.
I miss sleeping with my tribe. We would all just get in a big ball together, stay warm down in the cave. You have to make sure, though, if you're one of the people that wakes up early, you can't be in the middle of the ball. If you're in the middle of the ball, then you have to, like, climb on other people. There's a little organization to it, you know.
I'm gonna kick dirt unintentionally straight at John's shoe.
Please don't. That's mean.
Are you okay? You're acting a little odd.
Hello.
Odder.
Good morning, George.
I don't know what you're talking about. Perfectly fine.
How's the
My,
morning treating you fine, folks?
Your bones are absolutely gleaming today. Is there something you did different?
Why, I took a nice little shower, dip in the lake river a little bit ago. See it cleaned up and nicely, I see. Very good. And you know, now I'm ready to face the day. You know, nothing as refreshing as a dip. That's what I always say, yes.
Mm-hmm. But basically, calcified in your brilliance. Good morning,
Thank you.
Catherine.
Hello there.
Good morning, Netta.
Hello there, Zach.
How are you doing?
Good morning.
Hello.
I'm doing quite well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, and we're going to have a great church service where we spread positivity, and then we're going to do some guided meditation
Then we're
down
gonna
in the
summon a
basement, and maybe
demon.
do some... We're not summoning a demon. We're not doing
No?
that.
Yes,
Intentionally.
no, that,
I don't think she would want to summon
that's
a demon.
not usually a good idea.
Look, there's nice demons, I'm sure. We get lots of
Yeah,
people from
exactly.
different planes of existence and things, so maybe, but that's not the point. The point is we're supposed to think about positive things and protecting the town, and we're gonna have some little meditations down there for that. And that's the plan.
Fair point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello there.
So we're all going to be helping each other out with that. Good morning.
Right, of course.
Good morning.
How are you two?
Oh.
Doing just fine. You?
Alright, just woke up. I forgot my backpack, so I had to run back and get it.
Oh, of course. Can't be going around missing, forgetting your stuff back home. Nope, no, that won't do. Gotta have all your things on you when you start the day. Maybe you should take a bath as well. Freshen up a little bit like I do. Follow my example, you know? That kind of good stuff.
That could be taken the wrong way.
What's a bath?
How so?
Well, you might be implying that he should take a bath.
Maybe he should. Freshen up a little bit. Isn't it nice?
That's rough.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, it's nice. If you've never taken a bath before, it's when you go into the water, and then you basically
You
get
try
all
and
of
drown
the
yourself.
stuff off of you. No, you don't
Yeah,
try to drown
exactly.
yourself.
I
That's
do
a bad
that. I
thing.
do that sometimes.
No,
yeah.
no.
I don't.
Yeah, like I said, it's a good
Don't try and
story.
gun yourself.
No.
Please, Jasper, you have so much. You have so much life left in you, my good friend.
Miss Catherine,
I'll be here to talk.
I'm not. I'm
Yes?
not trying
It's
to
okay, it's
drown
okay.
myself.
have you ever met somebody that had voices in their head telling them to do stuff and then took them out of it?
Are you okay?
Well, I have met people
I'll be
with
here to
voices
talk to
in
you,
their
Jasper.
heads telling them
Always
to
here to
do
talk.
things, but I've never taken them out.
Is there a way to like make them more quieter?
Hmm. Not that I'm aware of,
I never
unless
said
it
I
was
gonna do that.
specifically they were
Just said
being
I-
possessed by something, in which case then it would be possible.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, that's
Did you
good
make
then.
a deal and get voices in your head?
That's a good thing, huh? Ah,
I might have. I'm not too. I don't think so. I mean, I
What
make deals
about
all the
voices in your
time.
head?
I mean,
Yeah, was there a
as I
deal?
said, as of recently, no one's been following what I've been doing. So I've been doing things. This is what happens when no one pays attention to what I do.
Voices in
There's
your
like a
head?
lot of things going on.
there's a lot of
Do you
things
know how
going
many
on.
things I pay attention to every day?
Do you know how many terrible things I've done when no one pays attention to me?
No,
Okay,
because
but,
no one's
like,
paying
I'm
attention
running a
to you to
church.
know.
I'm in the Merchants Guild. I run the farm. I don't have time to
I'm
be.
in 5
I know
guilds.
you're not the
I
child,
don't
but
see
you
your
know.
point.
Huh?
I'm in healers, adventurers, cooking, library,
Uh-huh.
and alchemist.
Yeah, okay. So how am I supposed to... Who is that?
Huh?
Huh?
What is that?
Oh.
I do not know.
It's probably fine.
Satsuna, what did
Why
you
does it
do?
look like
I mean, Crimson, what did you do?
Why does it look like racist?
Who's this?
Is that a
It looks like
dragon?
racist.
Is that...
It looks like racist.
Is it?
Is that a bird?
Greasus
looks like
doesn't
Greasus.
have
I
like
can't
a
see.
like I can tell that they have like a.
vision.
They seem to be
I can't
thin.
see it very good.
Because it looks like there's a big hat.
I thought I saw something like a weird
Right.
tiny hat, which I'm.
Can they fly now? Oh dear, I hope not.
Yes, but I don't believe that's a top hat.
Hey, someone should. God damn it. Someone should.
Yes, no, that's too
I have-
pointed to be a top hat.
I have the
tell,
experimental
I'm right
floating
under it.
mushroom if anybody wants to,
Oh,
no,
good
no,
idea.
no,
Let's
no,
go
no,
make
no,
contact.
falling.
They're falling.
Wait, what?
Oh,
They're fine.
Are you okay?
are you all right, stranger?
Alright.
Such poses. I think they're just fine.
Such poses.
That was
What?
quite a fall. You fell from really far.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it happens, though, innit?
what to do with
I guess so.
You're,
but you,
Are you okay?
Are your
you a
hands
wizard?
okay? They look broken.
I'm not sure.
oh dear.
Oh.
Maybe we should get a healer to look at you then. Just to be sure.
I'm a healer.
Give me a check.
don't know.
Maybe we should
he
have Catherine look at you just to be sure.
Yes, you may marvel.
Okay,
what I'm
not
perfect
me.
for.
Okay, I see how it is. And
It's
I'm
a
not
very nice form. I
very
like your hat.
weirdly.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. Yeah, do you like that?
Well, hi, welcome to the town. I'm Nurta, Kobold Cleric of the Dreamer.
Why then would she not be allowed back in? And something else that was bothering me. You had mentioned, I wasn't there, but you had made talk of sigils and things like that put in place that she wanted gone. Why is that exactly? Did we ever get an answer for that?
I mean, we got some answers, but it seems like we're getting two different answers from both sides of the fucking, courtroom here. You had, John might know, but you had these, things on the ground, which apparently Eska told Iona to get rid of. And then Iona starts getting rid of them because she's the forest protector for us, a defender, or whatever the hell it is. And she's doing that, and then this fucking Shen dragon dude shows up and he says, no, these are here to protect somebody from evil Fae. They're apparently, things to get rid of the Fae. So, of course, Eska's going to want these things gone if they're there to stop Fae. But
I'm wondering, if that's the case, I'm wondering if... Because something was bothering me, and I spoke with Oberon about it, and he didn't understand. You had mentioned sweet-smelling roses and things like that. That sounds very Spring Court to me. That sounds like she needed help getting rid of magic within her own court. I think that, and this is presumption, but Oberon didn't seem to understand. Titania was not there. I was hoping to potentially ask her. But it sounds to me like perhaps what Eska's doing might be a bit of a power struggle within her own court.
It's confirmed. I spoke to her wife.
Oh. Okay, good. Right. You went out to the forest yesterday. I see. Okay, so then I'm on the right track. Excellent. Good. All right. Good. That just makes me really happy.
I think I mentioned this last time, but I followed up on something that Eska said. She mentioned her wife, the tree.
Yes.
So, as part of trying to deal with the situation, I went to speak to her wife directly. She does
Okay,
not
how'd that
agree
go?
with Eska's methods. And she confirmed most of what Shin said about the...
So we got a dragon telling us that Eska's nuts, and we got a tree that's telling us Eska's nuts. A living tree. I gotta get my head around that. Just so I'm clear, that's where we're at, right?
From what I saw, it's the impression that I got is that the spirit is inhabiting the tree, a fey spirit of some kind. I didn't pry too deep into the details, but it sounds like they might have been mortal people that were turned into fey, and the one in the tree specifically was turned into a spirit embedded into the tree forever.
Fizzy, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna really fuck up our perception of the Fae.
Okay.
What if there's actually two factions of Fae? What if there are actually good Fae, like Ivy, and like this tree or whatever the fuck it is? But then what if there's bad Fae, like the Shadow Bastards, or Eska, and they're just trying to, take all the power for themselves, whatever.
So
sounds like a
complicates things.
Widely known fact, actually. There's
Hello!
the Seelie Fae and the Unseelie Fae. This is widely known.
I thought there was just the
And you
four
think I'm gonna know
courts.
that?
There are the four courts, however, there are also
Good morning, Mr. Mortally
distinctions
Challenged.
between them, but
Hello there. Hello.
Morning.
there is a second classification.
So, where's the walrus or whatever?
So basically, you can have the courts,
Harry
which I
comes
still
and
don't
goes.
understand the
His
courts,
ways
and I'm not
are,
asking for that right now. I got too much
unknowable
shit on my
and
plate. But we got the courts, and then you've got
Gotcha.
these unseelie Fae or whatever, and each
sure.
court can have their own sealy and
Hello,
sealy.
his dad. He can do what he
Unsealy.
wants. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you tell the difference? Or is it just, a behavioral thing?
I believe it's just a behavioral thing.
I mean, what you're saying
if
makes sense.
they try to get us killed in some way, like Eska did, I'd say they're the unseelie, as you said, the bad ones. And
So-
then there's
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, but then there's the ones who don't try to get us killed and be mildly helpful, like Ivy, the one who's dressed like a nun.
I wouldn't exactly
Sure.
say she's like a nun,
Whatever.
I can
the
see
hell
it. It's all black. I get it.
I certainly wouldn't classify them as good or bad. I think it's more along the lines of
Neutral.
works well with others.
What if you
and
use, like-
self-serving.
What if you use the word nud? Wait, no.
For
Stop.
what?
Bag. Try to put like no and good together.
Just go with neutral.
Wayne,
Nog.
you might be onto something.
What do you
I'm
mean?
kidding, you're totally
I
wrong.
am.
Okay.
Shit.
I see. Well, to that, there is something important to understand about the morality of certain Fae. From my dealings with them, they find several things different as far as that goes. For instance, how you mentioned trying to kill us. I don't think they see murder as
Zach,
that
do they have Fae
bad
in
of
your
a
forest?
thing. So
Fae.
maybe perhaps even good ones might be like,
I don't
murder
know,
someone, it's
actually.
fine, right?
I never stumbled upon any.
This is my dealings. The reason I bring this up is because the example I always bring up is my first
I
instance
never
of really
stumbled
speaking with
upon
that
any
Oberon fellow.
when I was-
Apparently he had granted the
where I was
wish
living, at least.
of our princess
there's a-
queen, I'm not quite sure, Sen,
There's a
and trapped her in a
main
burning
that's trying to
tree.
Disintegrate Nerda. Of course, nothing.
And he thought he was
happened,
doing
but,
good.
Just
Apparently.
thought, he.
Hey, they
It
tried
looks
to
like the-
disintegrate
That
Zerta.
seems
better than a
pretty
Yeah, they
fucked
did,
up.
but nothing happened.
Yes, and that's
Now,
what I think
don't
I
get me
mean.
wrong, this is definitely a problem.
Ultimately, I think
But
the
of all the
Fae
people
are
here, why did
more
you
or
come
less
to me
like
about
everybody
the
else.
mage?
Just they're good, good people and bad
I
people,
was just
and
telling
good
you,
dragons, bad dragons, good Fae, bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate it, but I don't know what I'm going to do about it.
Ultimately, I think
As
that's how it
for-
works. But
As for that,
Yes,
then
Warren?
I would call Ivy neutral,
Okay.
I
Escala,
don't know.
definitely,
Sometimes
or
I
Eska,
feel
whatever the hell
right
her
back,
name is.
Fizzy.
Because I just feel like
Definitely
I
a
don't tell
bitch.
people stuff.
yes, I don't trust her. She terrifies me. I mean, I don't trust any of the Fae, but her in particular terrify me. Makes
She
things
doesn't
difficult.
scare me I just know not to trust someone.
That green one, I think his name's Oberon or something. He scares me.
Yes. I don't like him very much either.
Well, he's gone now, so.
He's gone.
True. He's apparently terrified of that Shen fellow entering town.
Yes, apparently he's so afraid of the dragon, he said that as soon as the dragons show up, that he's going to be gone and never return.
Wait a second.
So.
Shen's actually here?
Well,
He showed up in town yesterday. We had a pleasant conversation.
Yeah, he was here yesterday.
Not a flask bottle.
Must have been after I went to sleep. Shit.
Common.
Perhaps.
First language.
It was later in the day.
Do you think maybe the dragon teleported me?
So,
I mean,
Well,
maybe.
how's
I'm
you been
not
doing?
sure.
And
Could
yes,
be a whole
actually,
slew of
that's a good
different
point.
things
Let me
depending
get
on
let me get my
since
seat.
this world is unknown to us.
We had mentioned you had mentioned something prior as we were heading to bed. Something about void fungus.
Yes.
Just anything.
Let's come over here.
No.
Yes,
things
yes.
that are important.
Gotcha.
Is this something we can cultivate?
Drinking in the morning.
I've talked to Nerta. We're going to find out. At least. So, as I kind of mentioned last time, to kind of recap, I spoke to the tree. She is willing to give us protection in the town or in the forest. In exchange, I need to do something for her. And in order to do that, I need the void fungus. Now,
Would I be brave? Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, this is going to be the important part. Very tricky thing about the situation. Hello.
Ah, Tobias, hello. How are you doing, friend?
Quite well.
Is it alright for... Is it alright for Tobias to know?
It's going to be a... I guess you're going to learn the fun secret about this. I more stepped away for decency's sake.
Okay.
The void fungus is not the secret. I've told a few people, like I said, I've told Nerta, once we have a sample of it, I want to see if she can cultivate more. But, because, mushrooms, fungus, that's kind of her thing. So, to get the initial, though, I was guided to a book that had a lot of information, lots of info about fungus, and then eventually I saw the page about void fungus. Has information in it. I have the book. Void fungus is something that is grown from a particular element from dragons.
Okay. Well, the good news is we've had a dragon walk around in town. Perhaps we can speak with them. Perhaps maybe
I've already spoken to
exchange something
Shen.
for it.
Is this going to pull out the book from underneath the jacket, and it's open, going to flip up the page, and you're going to be able to read for yourself that void fungus is derived from dragon excrement.
Am I reading this right? That's. Ugh.
That's
Ugh.
why I pulled you away. It's
All right.
not some top secret thing. Now you know the great secret.
Okay. Well, well, I mean, and so I must ask then, and again, if it's some sort of Fey secret, you can just let me know that you can't let me know. Why exactly do you need this again?
To fulfill the agreement that I have with the wife. With the tree wife. With Eska's wife.
The tree wants. And the tree wants something that comes from... Okay, something that comes from Dragonstool. All right, I see. Okay, well, I mean, if that's what they want and we can get protection, sure. Why not, I guess. It'd be an awkward thing to ask Shen for. Glad you let me know.
Well, I've already asked Shin. There was a very awkward conversation, but he did advise that he was going to help. Where basically Nerta is going to see, we'll try to cultivate what we can with Nerta's help, and then with yours, I will need some additional help with crafting some stuff with it.
Sure. I mean, new material is new material to work with. Something that works off void sounds interesting to me, despite where it comes from. So, absolutely, yes.
Do you remember
Gladly help with that.
Do you remember the red mushrooms?
The red mushrooms, they were not the explodey ones. What did those ones do again?
No, those were the exploding ones. The ones that...
Oh, they were?
When they came into contact with water. The ones that would just constantly explode. I thought those were
the blue.
I might be misremembering it. But,
It's fine. I could be too. It's been some time since we've had access to any of that.
I mean, the last time that we had those were in the old town. I haven't seen any in the forest or here, so... But, yeah, the ones that kind of duplicate itself and that we had a lot of problems with. The ones where I was being very careful and scientific with it, and then I almost blew up the mage tower anyway.
Yes, I've had that happen a few times.
So, didn't imagine it would have a violent reaction to a pace of water. But anyway, yeah, from what the book said, it is as volatile as that. It's going to take out the book, and it's going to hand it to you.
Okay.
Might be good for you to read up on it, and maybe you can... I'd rather not have a repeat of what happened last couple of times, where the town almost entirely blew up because of it, you know.
Understandable.
This seems to be a
It's
little
very
bit
understandable.
more unstable.
I appreciate this. I'll stow this away. I'll give it a read. I appreciate that. All right. Okay. So then, in that case, if Shen sounds like they're cooperating with us on this, then perhaps we need not head out into increasingly dangerous territory. Perhaps we should simply wait for them to appear, unless, of course, they said they would meet you out in the forest.
No, they didn't tell me where they were going to meet me and give me what I need. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to collecting that. Anyway, Tetsu, I don't know if I informed you, but the tree has made a deal with us, or rather, I made a deal with the tree.
I was present.
Okay, right.
I was not there, but you told me.
Right. So yeah, the closer to the tree, the more you're protected. So, so, you know, when you, which is good, because that's probably the more dangerous parts of the forest anyway. So just be aware that the further you get from the tree, the less protections, because the tree can, the tree's power is only so much. But it's at least something.
I see. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
I will say that the tree did protect us from getting eaten from that one thing.
What one thing?
Some plant that was going to try to eat us. I'm sure that Eska probably sicked them.
Well, I perhaps fortunately, perhaps unfortunately missed a lot of that. I was chasing information and ended up being what I believe to be an elaborate Fey prank. I should ask Lawrence about that, actually. Who has that book?
What?
I need to find out who has the book.
Did they, instead of taking away your beard like they did me, did they give you hair?
That would be a favor.
No. And there would... I'll explain it. So essentially, there was, I'm unsure if you saw, I was quite alarmed. Well, the proceedings were happening with with Eska in the town. There was something cloaked, floating throughout the town, pointing at people and disappearing.
Yes,
I had
I saw
heard
it.
some of the Shadlings. I had heard some of the Shadlings mention that they called it we just don't know. And, well, I love to gather information, so I tried to gather as much information as I could about this thing. I think it latched onto that, kind of followed me around for a vast majority of the day, pointing, just generally being ominous and very upsetting. Eventually, several members of the ASMR and also Ted worked together in conjunction, and we captured the thing for a moment before it vanished. But in its place, it left something. Do you know what it left?
No.
A thesaurus. A list of words we just don't know.
Why? Why?
A fey prank, I assume. It was acting mysterious. No one knew anything about it. I mean, ultimately, we returned the book to the library, and then the book got spat back out. It became a very interesting book, where if you placed your hand on there, it would show you more or less what you desire most. And again, insisting this is a fey prank, the first thing it does is shows me a list of 101 cures for baldness. I wanted to rip the thing up, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to rip the thing up, I'm not going to lie. I was
So
very
I was
upset.
close on how they pranked you.
Yes, that's why I brought it up too. But in either case, the book, once you started asking asking it things like, oh, I want to learn how to cook, it would show a cookbook. So apparently I wasn't there for all this. I was teaching a Shadling to read. It was a hell of a day. But eventually the book sealed shut of its own device, and Nerta said something about seeing a photo featuring Grecius from the old town. But it's locked now. We can't get it open.
That sounds more interesting than the book itself.
Yes. I spoke with Grecius on it, and Grecius he seemed to dodge the question. He said, oh, yes, I mean, a picture of me. I'm from the old town, you know. And then I asked, well, do you know anything about this book? And he's like, I'm not a mage. So perhaps I should ask Lawrence, but I don't know who has the book. Vexing.
I do not know either, to be honest.
Yes.
I think Ivy would know.
Oh, that's right. Yes, she was setting up protections in the library to make sure people couldn't misuse it should it reopen. Setting up protections with Ted, using their older magic. I remember that now.
By the way, I kinda have a theory about this town now.
Okay, I'd love to hear it. What are your thoughts, friend?
This stays between us.
Sure.
I kinda noticed that the original town that we were in, it had a problem. We solved that problem. And then we showed up here. This town has a forest with a problem.
I think I see where you're going. Eska?
I'm wondering what will happen once we get that problem taken care of.
Two problems to my mind.
What's
There's
the
also
other problem?
antagonism between the Fae and the dragons.
Well, I feel like that's going
Yes.
to... I feel like that's not a specific problem to the specific forest that we find ourselves in.
What's more, I don't think that's something we can resolve. I spoke with Shen on it a bit yesterday. It seems as though it's a matter of survival. The dragons feast off the magic in these lands, and the Fae need the magic in these lands to live here. That's why they're so adversarial.
Well, the dragons versus Fae, I feel like, is going to be a long-term thing. It's more of a issue with the Fae and the dragons as opposed to a issue with the forest itself. It's something that we might be able to resolve, but it's not the problem that was, when we were at the first town, the original issue was us versus the Fae.
But we've started to get along with them.
Which
But now it's...
Well, we started to, but it bit us in the ass, and at the whole Eska thing, we trusted her too readily, to be honest.
I agree. Were you there when I was speaking on some of my theories as far as what exactly she might be? I'm starting to think more and more she might actually be you think you might have hit the nail on the head. She might be the problem. I think the forest area around here doesn't want her around. I think she's caused issues. It's why she's sending people out to do her bidding, to do things that, even within her own court, perhaps they don't want her around. I think it's something we might be worth speaking about, seeing if we can talk to Titania about.
I am very curious to see if we fix the issue in the forest. What's going to end up happening? Are we going to end up being kicked into another town?
Perhaps. I think that likely.
Maybe it'll send us home finally.
Maybe we just keep leaping, and we have to hope that the next leap is the leap home.
Will send us home. Yes, indeed. These Feywilds are very tricky.
I might have another theory regarding Eska as well, but perhaps more of a refinement on yours, John. Given what was revealed to us about the tree, I doubt that she was always such a problem with the forest. But over time, perhaps not all minds are meant to be as long-lived as that.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people think elves are immortal, but the truth of the matter is we're just long-lived. I feel like, honestly, I just feel tired.
Immortality is a burden.
I can only imagine.
So, I feel like once you start getting over, like, 3,000, you probably have a lot of issues. I mean, look at Oberon. Look at a lot of the Fae that are immortal.
If they were always Fae, then they were born to it, but a human or a mortal mind.
I think even in a Fae born into it.
Your thoughts make me concerned of Ivy. Poor girl. I don't think she realized what she signed up for, becoming part Fae.
I doubt it.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, if we even live long enough. And dark as that might sound.
She may be fine. He is already, or was already, a particularly long-lived race.
So I've heard. Well, in either case, I think we've made some good strides today. By the way, there was something I wanted to ask you, and I forgot now. My brain's... there goes the old age again.
Sure, it will come back to you.
Likely so. Also, John, did Nurta speak with you?
In regard to what?
Nothing. Just, something I thought she might have brought up to you before nightfall.
Oh, that, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, excellent. In either case, in that case, I suppose we should see what everyone else is doing. I'm going to try to convince people not to head out into the forest, probably fruitlessly so.
I think people
are going to go out there anyways.
Well, I think everyone's going into the church.
I'll accompany them.
Or there's a service
going on. Right, perhaps we should head that way.
Agreed.
Oh.
My very real bottle of wine isn't enough.
Wait, you're still here.
Why would I not be?
Well, you said that as soon as the dragons show up, you're gonna leave and never come back, so...
What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
Well, they're
Shin...
here. I don't see them.
Well, he was here. The one
What?
that's one known as Shin was in here. I thought that's why you were gone after we came back from the forest.
I usually leave, and I'm not here during your entire day. But he was here in town.
Yes, he was here when we got back.
I may need to take precaution then.
I do need to speak to you privately, if possible.
Well, there's no one here, so why not now?
I made an agreement to deal with Eska's wife.
With who?
The tree.
The tree. Her wife is the tree. I guess she does like plants, so fine. Her wife is the tree. Fine, alright, and what is the deal?
She doesn't want to continue existing.
With Eska or the tree?
Both. The tree does not want them to continue existing. Told me that they are tired. So I can sympathize.
And what does this plan entail?
Void fungus.
Whatever that is.
I gave the book to Fizwick. But in short, I don't know all the details, but the tree told me that it's how I can fulfill my part of the deal in giving them long-lasting peace.
Look, if it gets rid of Eska, who's a danger to the town, at random times, then fine. I don't see why not.
So you don't object?
A Fae can do what a Fae wants, as long as it's beneficial to the town. I don't see why not. I've told you time and time again, the Spring Court wants the town to prosper and thrive, so I assume this will be helpful for the town.
Well,
I don't really know what you want me to do about it, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
Well, no, I wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be a problem, since, let me be blunt, they're asking me to end their existence with this void fungus. Also, hi.
Well?
Oh.
I'd appreciate it if you don't go around telling other people about this.
Oh, you can trust him. He's
already
good
heard
at
about it
secrets.
in the forest yesterday.
Alright, I couldn't remember if you were one of the people that or not.
At least about
Should always
what I've heard
assume
so
he's
far.
there. He's all around, even when you don't think he is.
Kinda like you.
Oh, I wouldn't think so. My hearing's
Well, I'm not
pretty shit.
around everywhere. I just hear a lot of things. I hear whatever I want to hear.
But basically, I wanted to make sure, because I will be, on no certain terms, taking out two Fae. Possibly.
It's fine with me. I don't see why not. as long as it keeps the forest healthy and alive. That's what we want, right?
From what I know, the tree seems to be telling the truth, and I don't see any reason why she would lie, especially about that.
Well, if the tree is a fae, then it can't lie.
From my understanding,
I would assume it is.
they are a fae.
There you go. Oh. So, do you need me to assist in any way, or are you just letting me know to get my opinion on should we listen to this fae in the first place?
Being that you have a way of finding out things and learning about things, I wanted to make sure I wasn't on your bad side in regards to eliminating two fae.
You're favored by us, John. Even if you were on my bad side, it'd be my good side.
Understood. That said, I don't take this kind of matter lightly. Don't expect me to go willy-nilly and everything, taking out multiple fae. It's just...
You know, since you're all...
They want
You said
peace.
you've been here a few days. How can
I can empathize with that.
Connor, lead the way.
So I will give that to them.
It's fine if they want to go to eternal rest. Some fae end up wanting to do it. They live so long, they're bored of living.
They're going. Come on.
I suppose there's one other thing I should let you know.
Please.
We have to get the void fungus from the dragons, which is why you probably never heard of it before.
If it has anything to do with dragons, knowing would be helpful. In case it would cause a problem down the line. Do you know what it does? Does it just kill a fae outright?
I don't know yet. That's what we have to find out. The book was not clear, and the tree just told me to seek it out and get some. Once I get some, I will try to get some more information, but I would assume, and I think...
Sorry about that.
I didn't see anything. I'm assuming that it's an ingredient for maybe a poison or a way of... a lot of poisons can be derived from molds, plants, or in this case, a fungus. So, I'm assuming that's what it's for.
Well, it makes sense. I don't really know how a dragon would be associated with this void fungus, but fine, whatever.
I'm not sure you want to know.
It's fine. I don't really need to know how you get it, as long as I know what it does. If you can find out what it does, that would be appreciated, and I'll give you... You can figure out exactly what void fungus does. How about a favor? Another one. A good-sized one, not a small one.
That is,
Say a medium favor.
Oh, a medium favor. That's actually quite a lot coming from you.
It's tied to the dragons and tied to killing a fae. I'd say it's important to know.
I will let you know. On one condition.
Good. And?
If I tell you, it's something that you keep with yourself. You don't share.
Fine. If you figure out
Should
what
I
it
leave?
is, you get the offer too, Tyron.
Oh, I haven't been eavesdropping. It's impolite to do so.
Well, the offer's there. Not you. You weren't here. You don't get it.
I see.
Understood.
I don't even care about your offer, so...
Although, if
They're
you
living in the
understand,
fields
I
without
haven't told a lot of people about the deal with
I know it really
the
gets to his
very
heart. He
specifics
definitely can.
that I
Really,
told
what-
about the
It's
tree.
right where he lives.
I'd imagine
Mhm.
there are some people in town of certain affiliations that would not appreciate what I am going to do.
What, killing a fae? Honestly, I'm surprised
It's
there's
not-
people that coincide with the dragon's viewpoints in the first place, given the tireless what is what I'm looking
That should
for?
be our deal.
Given the
then, everyone's
work
on
I've
gangsters.
given to be on the town's good side, and yet Ted still hates me. I don't know why, but he does. So I assume some people want to go side with the dragons, which would be a terrible idea.
Well, there's
Not
the
whatever,
other
I
side of
can't-
it.
Can't make them do anything.
For example, Nerta would not understand.
Doesn't understand lots of things. It's not going to stop her from trying her best, which is admirable, trying to be friends with everyone. No one wants to die. Except the people that do, but whatever.
Well, as long as you are giving me my, not going to have any problem with it.
I have no problems with the job you've cast upon yourself.
Well, I will update you as soon as I learn more about this void fungus.
Yes, that job actually could be useful to get him on the dragon's good side, to take advantage of the situation. So, I'd say why not get all the information you can out of everything, and then use it to the town's advantage.
Or maybe I can use it to get, broker a peace. Maybe we can finally get it so you two are not at war with each other anymore.
I don't think doing that small thing is going to broker peace between our kinds.
It's never
You're
about
free to
the
try. I'm not going to stop you.
Peace and negotiations are never started with one big gesture. It's always a series of small steps leading up to a path of. So, it's a first step at least.
And what do you want, Ivy?
I was just sitting here.
Drink the water.
I don't know, snacking.
What the fuck?
Then like a little bit of grass started growing out of the corners.
Goes where he
It's kind of
pleases.
overgrown.
in the graveyard.
But
And before
no,
Maury
this
left,
isn't-
she probably cursed it.
Why the fuck would she curse it? Explain.
There's all kind of weird things going on here.
For one, you're weird.
Oh my god.
Right, of course.
Why are you bullying me? I never did anything to you.
Yeah, it's kind of.
No, but you did things to John.
I intended to come over here to tell you that.
What do you mean? I've never done anything to John.
No, I just
Yes, you have. You have thirsted over me over and over and over again.
There was a reason why, though.
What's the reason?
Very
The
hot
reason he's a bunny.
No, Iona, no. What I meant to say.
Yeah, I know, because of all the time.
You're having a hard time. I can tell as much. You are. being
Bunnies are always
distracted.
very good at math
Take it
because
home,
they're always
you're gonna be
multiplying.
mad. And I wanted to tell you that we're here to help. In as best of any way we can, of course. And you
I don't
have
think
to do this
Wayne
on-
has the intelligence
on your
for
own.
multiplication.
To work through this all on your lonesome.
Also,
It's a failure on our part.
have
to
you
not have been there for you.
been controlling your appetite?
It's not.
You look good. Your tail is getting
No,
smaller
his
too.
tail is still fat.
Anyone
No, it's
No,
gotten
it's still fat.
smaller. I can tell.
Oh my god.
You're trying to give him a compliment. Get the fuck out of here. We know the truth. His tail is getting fat.
Getting? It's already
Oh
fat.
my god, I'm being. Everyone hates me.
It's getting fatter and fatter each day. It's gonna turn
I
into a
told you, it's not
bunny.
that we hate you, we're just being honest.
Yeah.
Nonsense daunting. Extremely.
I mean, if my tail was getting bigger,
And you've become a picture.
Actually, now that you mention it,
No, it's not.
Protection in this town. Whether you wanted to or not.
Don't even. You can't do that shit with me. I'm not that stupid, huh?
that's right, you're not.
You might not feel that way, but you're a hero.
Exactly. He's a businessman. He can't be stupid.
I wouldn't go that far.
Of all our friends here.
Fair enough. Try to give you a compliment.
How we want ourselves to be
I don't need any compliments. I know who I am.
keep the town.
I appreciate the effort. No offense.
How we will be here
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I spoke with him earlier, as a matter of
If it's any consolation, I think you're pretty cute when you're in your, furry girl
I've been
form.
wanting to talk to you as well, but he hasn't really gotten the courage.
Ouch. That
Told him to
hurts.
just, get
Not
to
even
it
my
and
normal
talk to you
form.
Because you're friends and whatnot.
I mean, you look like a redheaded dude in your normal form. Why do I give a shit?
The dreamer
Fair enough.
watching over us.
See, what you
Why the
need
fuck are
is
we having this conversation in a graveyard?
see, you need a little bit of makeup, a nice maid outfit.
Everyone treats me like
I mean, your
garbage.
hair is
Yeah,
already
so do
very
you.
pretty.
Doesn't really, think twice
Yeah,
about
so do
it
you.
out of his mouth sometimes,
You
but
know,
No,
just
no,
being
I
a
need-
maid outfit,
No,
you know.
I need a gender change
Put your
potion. You,
hair in a
The
ponytail.
form would be
you
a
would,
maid.
what's the term for it?
yeah. Oh dear. But
There's a term for that kind of thing.
he'll want to talk to you. I'm
Trying
sure.
to think.
He'll want to talk to you.
Yeah,
You'll want to talk to him as well.
yeah.
Makeover?
Keep it up, and I'll put you down.
For defense,
About the guy that would look cute in its dress. Like, since can't put my
for
finger on it.
happiness,
Of course.
For little crafts and doodles.
A cross-dresser?
Some people do
No,
sing
that's not it.
songs, and other people are
Harry.
very nice to talk to.
Oh, good friend Harry.
A
But it'll
femboy?
come back to me.
All of those nice.
It's so
Ah,
good to
there we
see
go.
you,
A
Harry.
twink?
Yeah, I could weep
Yes.
with joy.
Not even
Every
close.
time.
Deep breath.
Hey, I
Alright,
didn't
we
say
mean
it.
To distract you, but even Harry came to say hello.
You know, but laws of this realm, I wish I was able to murder you.
Kill the dragon.
Well,
I'm not calling you
unfortunately,
those
we all
things.
have
I'm trying to answer his
subtitles.
question.
John could be a femboy.
Of course.
Maybe if
You know,
I.
dye his
no
hair
way.
pink. Dye his hair pink, his
Me-
beard pink. Put it inside like a pigtail or twin tails. And
I
put a
mean, maybe
maid
if
outfit
I
on
was
him.
1,000 years younger. Yes.
John!
Hey, shut up. No, it's still possible.
There's a
I
thingy.
wanted to talk to you if
I'm
was
sure it's a
you're
good
probably
thing,
busy
G.
with
Needs time.
the other things.
No, I'm not
but,
busy.
If you
I mean, if it's a
then
bad
could I
thing, it's
talk
not
to
going to
you
be the worst.
for a little while? I won't keep you long.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
We should be on our way and see what's happening.
Let's not
around
worry
town, right?
about
There's a summit going on, I
knives.
believe. We
Like,
can
Hey,
go
Ona,
and-
before you go-
dreamer,
Yes,
then
good.
our positive.
Just so you know,
thoughts
you're
will
fucking
guide
awesome.
it to be positive.
What?
Are you assigned
Don't
from
swear
the
around
dreamer?
Nim, please.
I don't think
I'll be in the defender's tents.
Right.
It's very flowery.
It did
Oh.
a circle when you said that.
She needs time.
It's like going up and down. Is there something you want?
Oh, you are here. Thank
Well,
you.
I mean,
Sorry, I expected you to stay and keep talking for a while. Almost.
well, this is a little bit more important than Michael's silliness.
Fair enough. Here is okay. For now, at least.
Mm.
I'm sure that you found out, considering I think you were there. I tried going out into the forest on my own to try and fix the wards. And I couldn't. I had no idea how the magic was, and I got attacked by a spice dragon, and it was just...
It's okay.
You've lived for so long. You must have so much wisdom. How to help people. How to anything. I don't know. I don't want to be protected anymore. I want to be the one people look up to for help. Not in just menial tasks like I used to do with the defenders, but actually help people.
And I will be honest. That is more of why I wanted to make that deal with you. Because you have so much potential. And I do think you are someone that... Well, everyone else was chasing after you because they were worried about you. I was the one that was telling people that you can take care of yourself. And that you are a competent mage that can be able to handle these problems, threats. I mean, you were attacked, but you're still here. Doesn't seem like you were injured. So I would assume that you were able... Well, you were still able... Not significant. It's very important. We ran into one of those things, and you know what happened? We got protected by the tree, so... I would imagine that even I, with my experience, with how that big that thing is and how it fights, that it would be a situation where I would at least get minorly injured, even with our numbers, considering there were multiple of them. So, here's the thing. Yes, I do have a lot of experience, and I've lived a very long life, but that's the thing. Not... If there wasn't, even for elves, we only live about 2,000 years old. I am right on that. I will be honest, and I've told only one other person. While I am still fairly physical fit, with elves, one of the first things that starts to kind of fade is our memory. And I've been having some minor issues with that of late. And I do not know how worse it's going to get or how long it's going to take to get worse, but I already feel like that's already starting. Right now, it's just names, just misremembering names, but I have seen it before. It can progress. It can maybe take years for it to progress to a point where they have trouble remembering much, or it might be very quick. I don't know. That's the thing. Not everything in this life is immortal. There's fays, there's dragons. There's those of us that can't stay on this plane indefinitely. And even those that are quote-unquote immortal, they usually still able to be killed in some way. Or have some form of death, being sealed and kind of buried in a way. Form of death sometimes. And it's okay. It's okay. If we didn't have this cycle of life and death, things wouldn't change. New people wouldn't be brought in the world.
I'm not talking about that. I want to know how to stop premature deaths. I want to learn how to save people instead of people trying to get in the way of me and just trying to save me.
That just comes
Because
with
that's how
experience.
people keep getting hurt.
When I first started to do my assassin thing to try to better the world, there were missteps. There were cases where I failed. It's just the thing. You have much of a life in front of you. You're going to learn. You're going to make mistakes. And you're going to learn from those. You're going to get better. And as you get better, more people will trust you. It's just something that takes time, unfortunately.
We don't have that time here. Everything happens day after day after day. Everything gets so much worse. It goes by so quickly.
I don't think you were in the old town, were you?
No, I got here shortly after everything changed.
I was very hesitant to trust magic. In my world, we had it was a situation where a lot of mages wanted powder and continuously gathered it until they were incredibly powerful to a level where they abused it and they more saw themselves as gods.
I've heard of mad mages before.
These, we called them warlord mages because they took over kingdoms and they could, with a flick of the finger, just decimate an entire village.
That's horrible.
And one of those was mine. I was out on a hunting trip. I was originally a hunter. I had a life. I was 153. I was still young. Had a very lovely wife that I've spent almost 50 years with, which is very short for an elf, but I cherished every day. And when I came back, it was charred to the ground. There was not anything even standing. Just erased. So I learned to hunt a different prey. And
I'm so sorry.
because of that, I became very resentful of magic. And when I first came to the town, the original one, very kind to Fae or magic, which you have seen me. I'm much different from what I was originally.
You would have hated me.
I would have, honestly and earnestly. The more I'm gonna just say it, there were a lot of idiots that were trying to do very stupid things to try to kill Fae. And I was coming up with my own plans, but they would have been ruined by these idiots that would try to have these secret meetings of killing the Fae out in public where everyone else can hear them. So
that is very stupid.
It is. So I stopped it. I intervened. I got in the middle of things. And the more I did it, the more I kind of saw value in a lot of the partnerships with the Fae and how some of them are not as bad. And I also found out that not all magic people are crazy with power and get corrupted by it. I tell you this because change is something that just comes over time. And yes, you're right, a lot of things are happening. We have the dragons that we have to the forest is now even with which I don't know if you heard, but I made a deal with the tree. We have a bit of a protection in the forest, but it's not. The further away from the tree we are, the less protected we are. The tree can only protect so much. But
So basically, where we enter the forest is pretty unprotected. Good to know.
right. But I mean, the most dangerous parts are closer to the tree, so I would say that works out a little bit at least. And also that's where most of the resources are, so that at least protects us a little bit with... It's not perfect, but it's something at least. But even with that, it's not going to be, getting there is going to be a bit of a problem. And you're right, but the problem is you're not going to always have a way to save everyone. As hard as you try, I couldn't save my village. I couldn't save a lot of people that I tried to... A lot of the targets that I had, if I killed them sooner, I would have saved so much more life. I was not experienced. I had to take longer planning and preparing. If I was me back then, it would have been so much quicker and easier. But you're just gonna have to learn and experience stronger. As a mage, you'll need to study more, get more proficient with your magic, be more creative. A lot of good mages, the strongest ones, are able to use what they learn and modify it in ways and thinking outside the box. And no, you're not alone. The town has... As crazy as a lot of the town is, most of us look out for each other.
Thank you. So I just get stronger and stronger until no one wants to protect me?
I don't think anyone necessarily needs to protect you. As you get stronger and show your strength and show how you're able to protect others, they will be less trying to protect you and more protect with you. Watch your back and watch theirs. As opposed to seeing you as someone that needs to be guided.
You saw it on the stage. You were part of it. Eska appeared. I took steps away, and suddenly I had Catherine, Michael, Nikolai, George,
I did.
Kyron, you, all at my side, around me, blocking me. Even Fee was there. Everyone was trying to protect me.
I know.
And through all of the confusion, you broke the deal with Eska and made the forest the most dangerous place ever now. I blame myself for that.
I feel like a lot of the people stepping in caused a lot of that mess. I feel like if we stuck with the original plan, she would have took maybe my arm or maybe my eye. Maybe she would have done something similar to that effect. But with so much of the town rallying and, being against her, she didn't see a point of...
That's why I didn't want everyone protecting me.
I know, and
me trying to go out in the forest to prove that no one had to protect me.
I know.
And it made more people want to protect me. You guys chased me, and Tyron wouldn't leave me alone, even though I tried telling him was gonna burn him to a crisp
Yeah.
if he didn't leave me alone.
I told them to leave you alone, and honestly, I went ahead and after I brokered the deal with the tree, I told them that you're strong enough to deal with the forest on your own, and I came back to start preparing for the void fungus. I truly believe.
Void fungus? Oh yeah.
Yes.
I
I
was
feel
told
like
by Michael.
he told you the full deal.
Give or take. That void fungus is something that you guys need to deal with the tree, and that the wards will regrow and recover
All right.
on their own.
Did he tell you what the void fungus is for?
To kill the Fae?
Yes.
Hmm.
The tree has had a very long life, even longer than mine. And they want peace for not only themselves but their wife. And as someone that's in their twilight years, I can respect and empathize with that. I made a deal to help them. Not only for the town's benefit, to the benefit of themselves as well. Although I wish Michael wasn't going around telling everyone, I imagine the Fae people are not going to be happy that I'd rather not have to explain to every single one that it's only because they're asking me to.
To be fair, doesn't no one like Eska? I think they'd be fine with it.
Well, there's the Eska part, but there's also the tree is a Fae.
To be fair, I don't mind not climbing that big old tree.
Well, I think the tree is going to remain, but the Fae spirit inside of it is probably going to die. Sorry, I don't think we're going to have to get rid of the climbing that easy.
Darn.
Huh?
Thanks for the advice. Also, you said you hunted mad mages, or warlord mages, right?
Same thing, but yes.
You know how to deal with them, recognize them, etc., right?
Yes, they purported themselves as gods, but they were still, human, elf, orc. They were still mortal beings that could still be killed.
Did you ever encounter necromancers?
One of them was a necromancer. And one of them, the way they built up their army is they would go to a town, use their undead army to slaughter the entire town, and they would resurrect everyone as their army. And that's how they would grow that army.
That's horrible. But so I'm gonna give you a description, and you're gonna tell me if it sounds like a mad mage or not, okay?
Okay.
Someone standing on a balcony overlooking hundreds of thousands, maybe, people in rags and such. A long staff, a grimoire.
Nothing so far to indicate that they are mad. Have they tried to use their magic in any way as a way of abusing their power? Did they try to resurrect anyone?
They definitely revived corpses. A production line of sorts.
Hmm. What kind of production line?
Sewing, maybe, corpses together?
So he would bring back the undead to make more undead for an army, or for what purpose?
I'm not sure, but maybe it's best if we get a little closer to the tents for this.
Okay.
This is going to be a lot. This description that I just gave was of George.
I did not.
George told me
No.
about a week or so ago about a dream that he continued to keep having. One where his vision would clear and he would see tanks with grotesque things in them floating in water. He'd turn and travel to a door that led him to a balcony where thousands of people in rags stood looking up at him, working. And recently, there have been times where he completely changes and just he becomes mean. He doesn't know who we are. Things are off. There was one time where we said he needed a weapon, and I mentioned, oh, maybe a mace would do, maybe even a flail, a morning star. And something changed, and he said, a staff would suit me well. Yes, a nice, regal, tall one, or something like that. And when I said, a staff, he was like, what? There was another time where we were just talking, and suddenly he said there's no use for them. We were looking at a corpse. There's something that fell from the tree, and it was splattered. I think you might have been there. I'm not sure, but he said, well, there's no use for this one now. And there was another time where he was holding Nim, and then he changed, and he was like, why am I holding this? And they tossed Nim to the ground, and we said, George, that's Nim. You love Nim. And he was like, huh? Oh, Nim! And then he pet them, and when he told me about the dream initially, I said that sounded like the dream. It sounded like what was it? A tyrant over controlling a bunch of slaves and such. And he yelled at me. He said, "You don't get to call me a tyrant." And then he took a step back and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then he quickly left. And just now, while I was in the graveyard, he came up to me and he didn't look at me normally. He said a name that wasn't mine. He started talking to me and said, He told me that he hates to see me like this and to stop crying. I wasn't crying. And he told me that production would be all set. He's just hired new help. And he said it's gruesome work, but don't worry, the corpses will be up and walking soon. And if anything goes wrong, for me to hide in the tower. I don't know what that meant. And then I had to yell to get his attention because I called his name. I kept trying to ask what he was talking about, but he was just kept hushing me, saying that it was going to be okay. And as soon as I said his name, he's like, "Oh, Iona? Was I interrupting something?" And it was... I don't know what to do.
Can you tell if he's possessed in
He seems it, but he definitely isn't, I feel. There's something about George that no one really knows. It's the fact that even he doesn't know his own past. He just woke up in the graveyard, climbed out, and just started living here.
It sounds like he's forgotten his past. Who he was before is... I wouldn't say George is a mad mage, but this other him is past him. I would say that it most definitely sounds like a mad mage. The question is, if he remembers who he previously was, who will he choose to be?
Oh.
Will he choose to be
He said he was
George?
scared.
Or will he choose to be this mad mage? I would imagine he would be scared. He doesn't know. Imagine a man like George. And he, hypothetically, let's say he gets possessed and does bad things, and whatever possessed him leaves. But he has all the memories of what happened. It's a very similar situation, only reverse. George was another person. He was an entirely different entity, and then whatever happened, either this happened when he was alive and he was doing things, or and then when he came back, he didn't have a lot of memories of his previous life, or he was dead and he did all these things, and then something compelled him to hide, or maybe someone tried to stop him and he ended up in the forest or in the grave. Also possible that these are visions, predictions of the future, and as it gets closer to this happening, it's he's seeing more and more of it, and it's affecting him.
So either he's possessed, it's the old him, or he's foreseeing the future.
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be difficult to figure out.
Regardless of the three, we're going to have to think of something to save George.
George is one of my closest friends here. He's always just been so friendly and kind, and being this change scares me. I don't want to lose him. I'll be willing to help or do anything it takes to help him.
This would have to be something that maybe either the healers or the mages would have to look into. I don't have the ability to peer inside his head or check if he's possessed. I also don't have the ability to be able to see into, try to scry into his future or try to, peer into his head.
I guess we just have to wait and think cautiously for now. I guess.
Keep an eye on him. Know that regardless of what he might have been or who he might have been in the past, in the end of the day, he's currently George, and we should try to save the George that exists now.
I don't know how or what to do.
That's where you rely on your
I-
resources. There's going to be points where you're not going to know everything. But a great strength of a leader is to utilize their resources and the people around them to do what's necessary to resolve a conflict. So, who's someone that you can rely on, that you trust?
Tyron.
So I would talk to him, see if there's any way that he can tell if George is, if they're able to, would he be able to see if he's possessed?
I'm not sure. Tyron specializes in chaos and void magic, but I'm not sure if he's able to peer into people. Ivy! Oh no, she can only see memories through blood. Oh, George doesn't have any blood. This is hard.
You can check the
Also-
grave that he climbed out of. Maybe there's something in the casket, if that's still around.
Maybe. He's been here for a while. Much longer than me. By the way, do you know anything about a boar? Because I'm pretty sure some others in gold slayed a boar and brought it back recently, right?
We went to see a boar yesterday, and we convinced them to leave. Pretty sure that I know that Gold went into the forest several days ago and hunted the boar. That was a while ago.
I'm pretty sure George mentioned something. He either said the boar will help or the core will help.
Well, let's hope it's not the boar, because they left. We warned them about the dragons, and they left for their safety.
He said it while he was still changed. The something will help us. I don't know. Hi, Narta.
Hey.
Hello.
What's
everything
you?
okay?
I would say better than okay. We communed with the dreamer and we got a response. I don't know what to think about it
did?
though. Yeah,
I'm so
we were
sorry I
sitting in
wasn't
the
there.
basement. It's fine. A lot of people couldn't stick around, but I also don't want to necessarily say it was the dreamer because it said itself, at least I think, that it wasn't. But it was like this laser thing that had flowers blooming on it, and it was floating around in the basement. And when I asked it yes or no questions, it would do this if we thought it was saying yes, and it would do this if we thought it was saying no. But, it could also be a fae or someone messing with us, so I don't want to put like too much weight on it until I investigate it some more,
What information did it give you?
I asked it if it was okay, and it did the up and down. I asked it if it was the dreamer, and it did the circle. And then I asked if it worked with the dreamer, and it did the up and down.
More or less that she had talked to you, and that she wanted to talk to you.
Uh-huh.
So I think it was probably...
Maybe you communed
Given you
with
didn't know, it's probably
a
you first, then me,
helper
then...
of it, maybe? Not
Maybe,
entirely sure
but
how gods work.
it was a laser light, and it had flowers blooming out of it. And I know flower blooming things is like Miss Titania's thing, so it might be that Miss Titania was just messing with me.
Because, well...
Not
I
necessarily.
think I've seen something like that before.
Yeah, and neither did Mr. Lawrence, and he's been here the longest, so that was interesting to me.
I have seen something like that before.
You have?
There was a time where this little teddy bear full of nails
Okay, we can get in.
appeared, and that thing, little speck with flowers, was following it. I don't know if those two are related. I hope not, but ugh.
There was also one
What
that
was it
led me to
following?
the book about the void fungus.
You found a book on it?
Yeah, I found it last night.
Oh.
A red trail with
good. That's a
flowers
step.
led me to it.
Remember Nurture, did you tell him about the
That
book we
does sound...
found?
Yeah, the one with ink in it? That would
Actually, I shouldn't
change
say
when we put our
did.
hand on it?
The three of us found it together, you know?
Yeah.
Oh?
Yes.
The one that showed an old picture of Grecius.
No, that
Yeah,
one.
I did do that.
That one I know about the one that, you know, it shows your desires or whatever, but I don't know about the one with the Greece's picture in it.
What was the
Same
point of
book.
that? Basically, it was
I
it was
gotta
a
check on
book
that.
that you put your hand on it, and then the ink would change to
I wanted to speak
whatever
with Ivy on it,
information
but
you were
apparently
looking
she's
for.
busy.
But I think it was limited to like what it
We'll
knew.
figure something out.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mean to steal Grandpa John away from you, but I was gonna go show Grandpa John and Mr. Fizwick and Mr. Ted something in the Kobold Den.
Okay.
It's all right. We've talked about, honestly, more than I was expecting. Thank you for your time.
Just remember what I said. Rely on the people around you.
I'll do my best.
I've always got that hug ready to go if you want it.
It's true, she's very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And Diana, I think
Take
you're
care
doing a
of her,
great
Nim.
job.
Of course, yes.
Oh, thank you. I'm definitely trying.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you seen Tyron?
I saw
Not
them a
since
while
church.
ago.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't seen him in a bit.
Not since church.
He didn't
Yeah,
stay
no.
long.
Was he down by the bakery?
He might be down by the bakery. That might be a good place to look.
Okay.
There's a bit of a
thank you.
commotion down
I'll
there
start
with
my way.
Iona, Ivy being forced into slavery.
Ivy.
Yes, Ivy's
It's
been forced
an
into slavery.
internship.
She might.
It's
They
not
keep calling it an
slavery.
internship, but it sounds
She's
like
forced into it.
Well, and she's fulfilling.
See if I can help.
It was a
Daycare.
favor. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
you get a favor and you do favors.
Yeah, whatever.
That's
Okay.
ultimately what I meant to say by the end of it. Is that if she's locked into a favor, that's a entirely different thing. It's not indefinite, so I imagine it's just a favor. But
I'll come from that slavery.
Okay, if you don't want to go down the hole and have to climb back up again, we could just go to that like thing over there if you want to.
that seems
I can
smart.
climb anything. That's what I got my claws for.
Yeah, I
I
know
like
that's
the
what
idea
mine
of
are
heading
for,
back
but
up.
I know
These
Grandpa
two, yeah.
and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to make them have to do climbing if
We
they
don't
don't
want
have
John
to.
to break a hip, huh?
Were you a grandpa
They're not-
before you left? I was.
No, me and my wife never had kids before she passed, so.
Sorry to hear that, but I can relate. Well, I mean, I had kids and grandkids, but it's a whole thing. Yes, Grandpa and Grandpa. And Ted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like the asshole uncle, I guess.
You're not an asshole. Calm down.
I don't think you are.
You're more like the eccentric uncle.
Yes, that's a better word for it.
You're very transparent with your feelings.
Honest.
Well, I ain't got nothing to hide. Nothing that somebody hold my head.
Yeah.
I've never actually been over in this spot.
Me neither.
If you want to.
Interesting. Yeah. I'll sit down.
I'm going to sit on a cushion. If you
Agreed.
want. There's also a chair.
Oh. Yeah, cushion's
So-
fine.
Sure, you're not yelling, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not. So I've talked to you all each individually, but I thought we should all get together. I wanted you all to be more closely related with my church activities because I trust you all. I know a lot of the people in the town are very impulsive. They're very emotional and stuff. And while when those emotions are positive, that's very beneficial. When they're negative, it's very not. And so with you three, we get a little bit of a lot of good things. I know Grandpa John has been here longer than any of us. He's been here longer than I have. Mr. Fizwick, you and I came to town at about the same time, I think.
Yes, I think you're one of the first people I remember speaking to. I remember you calling me Mr. Fizz. It was adorable.
Mm-hmm. And then on the other end of things, Ted is very new here. So
I'm actually kind of surprised you asked me to join.
for the benefits of my perspective on things, I think it's nice to have someone that's been here longer than me, someone about the same time, and someone new. That way we get some strengths out of that. I know that you are very good when it comes to contracts and talking and deals and things like that. And in this world, that seems like a very important skill to have.
Seems like it.
Mr. Fizwick is very good at analyzing and learning things, and he has a lot of command of respect from the community because of his continued work. So I felt like it'd be very important to have you here. And Grandpa John, I know that you are very wise from your years and experience, and not only that, but you're combat capable. And that is also something that might be necessary to have on the table, because as somebody who pretty much avoids that at all costs, I probably should have someone on my inner circle that deals in those things to give me a better idea of what to do about that. So that's why I wanted the three of you to be here, because I want to tell you some of the more specific things about the Dreamer. Now, I know Ted wasn't here when we had the guild meeting where I explained what was going to happen before I opened up the church, but I can't really say specifics about things because of a deal I made. But I can tell you that I did make a deal. The deal is with the Shadelings, and I gained access to information from their eyeballs that I don't think other people have access to. I cannot tell any information that I got from those eyeballs to anybody. And if I do, I will die, and they will take my eyeball back because it has all the memories in it. So, as per the contract, I can tell you the contract, but I can't tell you the things I've learned from doing the contract. So this is why I have proceeded the way that I have with my dissemination of information, because obviously the Dreamer and everything I've learned about the Dreamer has nothing to do with that contract whatsoever.
Obviously.
Obviously?
Obviously.
So, all of the information about the dreamer that I know, I'm going to tell you a little bit more than what I told the other people because I trust you with this a bit more. So as far as I know, the town of Sundial has existed for a really, really, really long time, and very shortly after its creation, the dreamer came into being. The dreamer isn't exactly one person. The dreamer is actually a whole bunch of people that are sleeping together, and they sort of became one person. So I still call it the dreamer because it's like one thinky thing going on, but it's actually a whole bunch of other things that came together.
A hive mind.
Like bees?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of like bees. And the dreamer was apparently trying to protect the town as it came into being, and I think that kind of set its like thoughts, kind of like locked them in, and so it's just become a deity about protecting the town. But it kind of feeds off of the town because it's so many voices all at once, kind of like Crimson's voices in their head. I think the voices of the town get into its head, and so it does things based off of what the voices are saying. And if all of our voices are kind of saying different things and we're not really getting along, then the dreamer gets confused and it doesn't know what to do. But when we're in harmony and we're all working together and that thing is positive, then the dreamer can act on it better. Likewise, though, when bad things are going on and everyone's thinking the same bad thoughts and having the same fears, then the dreamer kind of gets influenced to do that kind of stuff because it's confused. I know that's not anything radically different from what I've said before, but the whole point in communing with it is I know other citizens have been able to directly communicate with the dreamer. And I know to some extent, well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that Mr. Oberon and Miss Titania and maybe the other courts kind of know this information, which is why we did that whole thing at the festival. And then we got here.
Right.
You remembers that?
Yes.
There was a festival a while back where we were celebrating basically our friendship with the Fae, and also we got rid of like some corruption and stuff that had been plaguing the town for a while. And then after the festival, the whole town disappeared and then reappeared here, and it looks completely different. And what I'm pretty sure, they got us to get in a big circle. Everyone in town came together, and they had us all think about getting rid of the corruption and being safe from it. And when we did that, that's what happened afterwards. The town remade itself somewhere else. So I think if we can train the town to come together around our protective deity, the dreamer, and we learn to control ourselves and have positive thoughts, then we can better influence these outcomes and maybe even, have some protection against dragons and things like that, right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
I see.
It makes sense. I'm just processing everything. There's loopholes I'm noticing, but, please continue.
Understandable. I can't say specifics, but as I'm sure Grandpa John knows from looking at the historical accounts, it seems like some of the revelations the dreamer has given to me line up with the history. I have been given visions of the town being destroyed before, and one of those times was by dragons. So I think the dreamer may even remember that a little bit. I think it has some knowledge of the dragons coming back. And I don't know if it's going to have feelings already when Mr. Shin showed up the other day. But it's something I've considered. So keep that in mind. I'm trying to think of other things I can say that I wouldn't be breaking the deal with.
What you can do, a little bit of a loophole in your contract, is you can't talk about things directly, but you could substitute what you want to talk about with something else, so therefore you're not directly talking about it.
Yeah,
We've had some experience with that. Spoke about some termite problems before.
But I think you get the gist of what I'm saying, but I don't want this to be like a super secret society. I don't want us to keep ourselves all hidden away or something. It's just that I trust you all more with this information, and going forward, in order to get more information, I might need to make more deals, which I might want your help with. And in doing things with the Dreamer and figuring things out, I might need your help. And in order to get into positions where we're speaking with beings that have been around for a really long time might be dangerous, and it'd be nice to have someone with your capabilities on my side for that. But in return and exchange for your cooperation, I wanted to be as transparent about these things. Which is also why I wanted to have fake names, because in case any Fae want to hunt you down for the information, because I do think it is valuable to them when we're out and about. If you're talking about Dreamer things, I will, especially if we're not in person, refer to you as Bishop, Rook, Knight, and I am to be Pawn. And that way we can leave it kind of vague, so that they don't know who to hunt down.
Right.
Is there anybody else you want to include on this?
That is something I wanted to ask you all. Is there somebody that you think would be temperamental for this and have something to bring to the table?
Well, Fizzy, we literally just talked about him. What do you think?
Potentially, I was wondering about, simply because he's someone who's been very close to the ASMR and someone who I have as a personal, very close confidant. Someone who's trustworthy and capable as well. Potentially Tobias might be someone we might want to include in this.
I would say Tobias
Mr.
is very
Tobias
trustworthy.
Can you tell me anything about his current dealings with Miss Lyriel?
I don't even know who that is.
She's the acting representative of the Autumn Court, the court of secrets and hunts and things of that sort.
I will be honest with you. He's told me of dealings. He's not told me what they were. I've chosen not to pry simply because, well, obviously, Fae deals a lot of times, a lot of secrecy, and when dealing with the Autumn Court, I imagine that would be especially so. So I didn't want to put him in any precarious positions, but in truth, I don't know.
Well, that's, if you all trust Mr. Tobias, I know I already do, so that does seem like a useful person, and obviously if he's dealing with the Autumn Court, then he must have some reverence when it comes to secrets and being careful with your words.
I would do I believe the kids call it a vibe check with him, because if he's doing some kind of dealings, we should probably make sure that he's still on the up and up, if you will, before including him in anything of the nature.
Due to the nature of another deal I have, I'm not sure how much I can speak on this, but I know that Lyriel's mission seeing as she used to be a member of the town before she left the town and joined the Autumn Court, kind of precludes her from ever stepping foot in town again. The Dreamer really doesn't like her. The Dreamer, if she ever steps foot in town again, the Dreamer literally just pushes her out of the town and she poofs somewhere else. So if
what did she do to
he's
piss
working
off the Dreamer
directly
so much? Are you not at liberty to say?
So I won't say what Lyriel's mission is, but I can say that the Autumn Court has the ability to call the Wild Hunt on something. Do you know what that is?
No.
From what I understand, the different courts, the summer, spring, winter, and fall courts hardly ever work together on anything because they're very much like butting heads over every little stupid thing, and it's very hard to get them to work. But there is one thing they will all agree upon. When the Autumn Court calls a wild hunt on something, they all gather together to hunt it down and destroy it, or kill it, or capture it, whatever the hunt is called on. And the Autumn Court is supposed to call the Wild Hunt on the town as soon as they figure out how to get rid of the protection on it. So the Shadelings and other members of the Autumn Court were supposed to come to town and figure that out so that they could take down the protection. But who's to say what Lyriel's mission was?
I see. The town wouldn't like
And now
that,
Tobias
I suppose.
is making a deal with her.
Now, I also made a deal with Miss Lyriel. So I won't say that she is a bad person, but I do think that she sort of made a bad decision one time, or maybe a decision she sort of regrets now. But what she's done has really made the Dreamer upset, so she's not allowed back in, as far as I can tell.
The decisions filled with regret sounds common from Fae more and more, the more I hear about them.
Which also brings up a surprising thing. Mr. Shin did come into the town. And based off of Miss Lyriel getting poofed out Yeah, he even has a sundial. And he didn't get poofed out. And if... Yeah, he showed it to me. It looked really old. But the third cycle was like thousands of years ago. So we have that to worry about. Because that means, you know, if Mr. Shin can come in here, but Miss Lyriel can't, it kind of makes me think that either Mr. Shin is immune to the Dreamer, which is pretty scary, or he doesn't actually want to destroy the town, which conflicts with what we already know, because he already has tried to destroy the town once based off of what he said himself and what the book said.
If I may, I had a conversation with the man yesterday. It was not long, but it was fruitful. He reiterated some things with a prior conversation we had, more or less about how the nature of certain things working here and consuming magic, and how the Fae don't like that, and that can cause certain conflicts. So, I imagine getting them to work together is going to be very difficult, and if not impossible. However, and this is important and key, I think when we were speaking about the nature of dragons and such, they do seem to be more individual in their natures than others. I got the sense that Mr. Shen doesn't actually want the town destroyed, or at the very least is fine with us existing. More or less, he seems more worried about his people's survival than anything. I think we could potentially strike up a conversation with them and potentially even maybe have some peace going forward. Now, of course, this will step on many Fae's toes if we are seen openly converting with dragons, but I'm wondering if there's some sort of compromise we can't reach. Perhaps maybe let the situation maybe kind of work towards something together, even if that means we have to keep a secret between both factions, as it were.
I mean, the Fae do love making deals.
Yes. My concern is if the Fae find out we're lying and working with the dragons, I imagine they'll actually be in a much worse shape than if the dragons find out. And we've already built up some rapport with the Fae.
Why do we gotta lie to them?
A lie of omission, perhaps. Will still likely upset them.
Well, there's two ways you could go about it. The first is that you play the Fae game, and at no point do you ever even hint at the thought that you're working with dragons, therefore you're never lying to them. Or two is you tell them, but it's like, this is its own deal. It's got no effect on you or anything else. Because, a contract is between, two parties or two individuals. So it's none of the business, really. But at the same time, they might not like that. But you know what?
Yeah, and I do think the bakery makes some fantastic cookies.
Hello.
Definitely. Oh, hey, Michael.
They do make some great cookies.
Hey.
Hello, yes.
Speaking of, I got a cake right here if you guys want to share.
Oh, a cake? Maybe.
Sure. Fantastic.
That sounds good. I'll take cake.
You just gotta place down the box. It is a white frosted cake with marshmallow cream.
Oh.
Oh, fantastic.
That's an odd cake.
Marshmallow cream. Oh, just reaching in. Okay. Oh, are we just, okay, I guess we're just, goodness, okay.
I didn't come
like
with
that.
plates, so.
Right, but a new
You want some
cutlery,
cake,
I can see.
Misty?
Okay, I've got my own waffle.
Oh, waffle?
This is quite tasty, though.
She ordered a waffle. Oh,
There
was a lot of them.
Did I make this?
Yes. Her and the foxes.
Wow. Quite tasty.
So, what you guys doing over here?
Just
you know how Miss Iona has been feeling kind of down in the dumps?
Yeah.
I kind of just want to throw her a little party or something to raise her spirits, So I just wanted to have some buddies. We're gonna talk about throwing her a surprise party. You got any ideas?
No, not.
But
that
you
I
gotta
can
keep it
think
secret.
of.
Right.
I mean,
Oh, I think I had a grand idea. So, Michael, you were mentioning to me how this our deal with the slavery for Ivy. Apparently, that's a deal for you, right? That's a favor of some sort.
Yeah, that's already been exchanged.
Well, if she's already made this amazing cake, and I imagine you're doing it to upset her, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I mean, we can kill two birds with one stone. We can get a nice cake made for Iona, and potentially, if you go over there and sit in the order, you could make Ivy a little more, make her day a little harder, if that's what your goal is.
Well, here's the thing. She's already getting a cake.
Oh.
She's getting a cake for herself.
Fantastic.
Yep.
That's great.
That's for herself. That's
great.
Iona.
Yeah, it's not for the party. Imagine how excited she'd be if she had two cakes. That's double.
That would be nice.
Like two cakes.
However,
and then that means Ivy has to make two cakes. Two more cakes. That's three cakes.
I mean, I already had a cake ordered for ASO because of Gracious, but I also owe the foxes some dye for the cakes. So I can't really go back there, otherwise I'll need to pay them more things.
Hey, listen. If you head over to the tower, I've still got some fee leaves dried. They make for great pigments, and they're edible.
Okay.
It's in the drawer.
I can do that.
Second drawer. Fee leaves. The fee leaves. Do you remember those? They were multicolored. They're from the old town, but I had them dried to preserve them. I still have a few of them. What color are they looking for?
Oh, yeah.
Just different colored dyes, for, I guess, food coloring. I think
you
that's
can
what
crush
they're
those
called.
down, and it'd be powder, but if you mixed them well with water, I imagine it would make for an effective food dye, and edible as well, as long as you're just using those. and no other materials involved with it.
It's possible. Yeah, we could do that.
There we go.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, and
So
then
the question is,
then
what kind of cake? What kind of cake
I don't know.
for Iona?
What's she like? I don't know.
Doesn't she? She's got like lots of pink stuff. But what tastes pink?
Strawberry.
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 Ooh, you know what? Strawberry cheesecake.
Ooh.
Wait,
decadent.
Yeah.
You never had
What is
cheesecake?
this?
Hold the phone.
No. What is it?
You guys, you've never had cheesecake.
Why would you put cheese in? Why would you put cheese in a cake?
Wait.
It's
What am
it's
I
not
holding?
really cheese. Figure of speech, Nerda. You've never had cheesecake. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's not really technically cheese, but the name is called cheesecake.
Why do they call it a cheesecake if there's no cheese in it?
Yeah.
It's just another
Probably more common
thing,
nonsense. Yeah, exactly.
Can you go
That's
to
what I
the
was
bakery
thinking.
right now and get what the hell
Common
is
is
that?
weird.
What?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm seeing something or if it's just a glitch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
you're
whole
seeing-
tree.
Yeah, I've been seeing things out of the corner of my eye too, but I think it's just
Fey
the
nonsense.
presence of the crystal tree
It's the
or
magic
something.
of the
blah blah
garden.
blah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you? There it is again. God damn it. Can you go to the bakery right now and get a cheesecake?
Yeah, I can get us a cherry cheesecake.
Yeah.
Well, they never had one before. I want them to try it. Just get a plain one.
A plain one. All right, I got you.
Yes.
And if Ivy wants, or if oh, he's gone. Never mind.
Oh, and he's gone.
He disappeared.
That's interesting. I like cheese. I like cake. I would have never thought about putting cheese and cake together, even if it's not cheese.
Yeah, it's interesting. Fascinating, even.
Imagine if
And,
Mori was still here. She would absolutely hate it.
I mean, Moyi?
Or Mori, yeah.
Wait, Mori's the brother, right? Moyi was the...
Can you do
Am I
me a
mixing
quick
him up?
favor?
No, you're
Can
right,
you
Moi.
go send a message to Jojo.
Oh, Moyi. Okay, right.
Mori does
She's
like
like,
cheese, so Mori
yeah.
would love that.
Yeah, send her a message that says, "Please make a plain cheesecake next time you're available."
Okay, I will go leave her a message.
And
Thanks,
Fifi,
man.
before you go, thank you. Before you go, do remind Michael about the fee leaves. I don't want him to forget.
He is very forgetful.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Okay, well,
So we might have to do future meetings in the cave anyway.
In the cave, after all.
yeah.
Oh well.
Well, that's not always
Until,
secret.
like-
We tried to have a secret meeting.
Yeah, we
there, and-
found that out.
Yeah.
We had a fae pop into existence next to us while we were having a talk, and then I was
That's
talking to
terrifying.
Mr. Biswick, and then like the Grim Reaper looking thing appeared. So, no matter where we go, we got to deal
he's
with
gone.
it. But
He turned into a book.
Yes, it's true.
let's wrap this up then. So today, down in the basement of the church, we communed with the Dreamer, and we had that laser thing with the flowers appear. I'm going to look more into that. I would appreciate if in each of your own disciplines, groups, and circles, you might look into that as well. I know that you have ASMR. I'm dealing with the Merchants Guild and, the rest of the church people and the farm. I know you work with the Adventurers Guild a lot, and I know you are also with the Iona, George, Nim, Tyron group a lot. So,
I try to
if there's
stay
any
far
way
away
we
from Nim. I swear that thing's gonna kill us all. But
Nim is fine.
Oh, Nim's fine.
although
You
I
mean-
probably
feeling.
should get more involved in the Merchants Guild, considering I was a salesman.
Yeah, Mr. Gracious is looking for 100% employment of the town right now. So for anyone who does not have a job, we're trying to get everybody employed.
A job for what? We don't make money here.
Yeah,
I had
but
that
we also
conversation
can raise
earlier. It was a whole
productivity.
thing. The whole thing.
You
Ugh.
can still be productive. But it doesn't matter. Talk to Mr. Gracious about that. But let's wrap this up before we have to talk about Iona's surprise party. Sorry, I sort of threw that out there, but
It's fine.
It
Well,
seemed
I guess
befitting.
we're having a surprise party, but you know,
it's fine by me.
Another story. Huh?
All right. And we're gonna get to try cake made of cheese. That's great. But if I need you guys again, right now this is more like a introductory idea of what we're doing here. But this will just be our little clergy of the Church of the Dreamer. And then when I get some more valuable visions from the dreamer, I will try to share them with you all and hope that you can sort of take the necessary kernels of information and disseminate them in feedback. Hey,
Okay.
All right.
How'd it go?
And I have been reminded.
Excellent.
Let's go.
Appreciate it, Fee. Thank you. You've been doing a great job. There you go. High five me too. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, get one of those.
I'll head pass.
Yes.
That also works. What do you say? We go get some cakes and then do we need to get your fee leaves? Fee leaves?
Did you grab those? Did you let Michael know?
Or did Michael?
I told Michael about them.
Okay. He can grab those on his own then.
Let's just head back and we'll head down to the bakery so you can try both of you try some cheesecake.
It's true. And they were telling me like they make cinnamon rolls. I love cinnamon rolls.
Nirta.
You've never had cinnamon rolls?
Michael got the cinnamon roll.
So I got something for tomorrow for the church service. It's called a Krockenbar.
Oh, what?
Fizz, did you say you've never had cinnamon rolls?
Is it made from crocodiles?
I like
Delicious?
cinnamon rolls.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. No, it's
Simple,
it
right?
is a
It's
pastry.
get some cinnamon, some sugar. You glaze the sugar over the top, and you get a nice little pastry in the middle.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Sounds nice.
Favorites.
This is making me hungry in real life too.
Yes, agreed. Perhaps we should get some food and set up a place for the surprise party, I guess.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have the party today.
I don't know. Are we? Is it a surprise to us as well?
I mean...
Super surprise. It's a surprise for everyone.
Well, on one hand, if we have the party today, I don't think JoJo can make a cheesecake that fast. On the other hand,
No.
JoJo's pretty sick. It's going to be a while anyway.
True.
Leave her a note on the table.
I appreciate that.
Oh, let's head this way. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Hopefully when my nest wasn't disturbed, I heard you over by that tree.
No, I made sure that the nests were okay.
One small thing. That was pretty rude.
What did you do to Wayne?
I
told the truth.
Whoever can make Ivy apologize to Wayne gets one free small favor, and that cannot be
Half
you.
an hour of work and she's already getting up.
What if I just what if I just go do it?
Well, you don't get the small favor. I just said so.
Well, yeah, I don't need to get the
think she
favor, but
has
I can
to
do it
make
to no one else
something out
needs
of
it.
her own accord as a
Ah,
present
but-
for Wayne.
But what if she goes and does it, and I say it's official ASMR business that she did it?
She has
It is
to
official
take pictures of the
business.
test and show off.
Yes, exactly,
give
and then
it
I get the
to
favor.
Wayne, a pastry.
Fieswick, what do you think of Grease's idea?
I'm sorry, I was talking about official business. What? What's it here? What are we doing?
Well, clearly she should showcase what she has learned today and make the best pastry she can for Wayne as an apology.
I think that's a great idea, don't you, Ivy?
It's not a great idea. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it anyways.
Excellent.
Stop calling him fat.
And then and here's what we're gonna do as official ASMR business, and then so I can get that favor. Hey, As official member of the ASMR, I am telling you, you should apologize to Wayne.
As an official ASMR worker, I agree that I will do what you tell me to do, as it is business.
Excellent. It's just business, right? Excellent.
She
See?
works for
There we
you.
go. Works for the ASMR, which I am a member of as well, head of this branch.
Do you get paid?
I get
Had
paid
this
through.
conversation. Oh my god.
I get some materials from my studies, as well as field work and experience.
Blood? I've given her like 3 vials of my blood.
Yes.
What do you think, Ted? You're a worker. Does that sound fair?
I mean, if that goes for, exchange rates around here, then, we're goods and services, then that's work.
Greasis, what do you think?
Borderline charity.
No, that ain't
I'll allow
charity.
it.
Giving up blood
I'll
ain't
allow it.
charity.
Good.
It's
Now
not,
go
it's
apologize
really
to
not.
Wayne.
Okay, I'll go make a cake.
I mean, Chad,
The
it's
best
like
one
physically
ever.
homeless, you know.
I will. I need to go grab some carrots.
Hey, you want to try a cheesecake?
Homeless, so
She's
it is
being
like a
so
charity.
wean to Wayne. All because he's fat. Awful, really.
Lawrence in there?
I mean, his tail's fat.
The only thing that's getting, the only thing that's getting fatter is his tail, honestly.
Yes,
What's that?
exactly.
Nah, he's not.
She keeps calling him fat.
He's not
She
in there
even
now.
forgot
Yes,
Wayne
yes,
Well, I
and
was gonna
called
get you a
Tobias
fork,
Wayne.
but can you even hold
She
a fork?
forgot Tobias
What?
as well. Yes. Wayne was talking. No, wait, it was Tobias
I
that
can feed
was
it to you if you
talking.
want.
And she said, whatever, Wayne.
That works.
Really?
Usually I just.
I
whenever
feel so
get
bad for
food,
Wayne
just put it in
sometimes.
front of me and I
Wayne, you
just-
know, every day he walks around, people say, "Oh, well, I mean, you're a
Whatever
crow
works, I
person."
guess, huh?
Can you believe that? People just say that to him.
Is this pre-cut?
You know you said Wayne, right?
Should be.
Here's Rick.
Okay, it's pre-cut. We're calling it. Let's go to that
Do we
table.
have to have a
over
cultural sensitivity?
Oh my
there.
gosh.
Do you like cheesecake?
I'm old. I
We
have an
may need to
excuse.
have another cultural sensitivity meeting.
Listen, I'm old. I
When
have
did
an
we have the
excuse. We're
first
talking about
one?
Wayne for how long? We were talking about
And
Wayne
the
for how
first one
long?
was
My
when we
brain's
called
going.
Muscle a clown.
Just
1 minute,
Ugh.
Rick. 1 minute.
When was
1 minute
this?
for what?
It's a cake. It's
This was back on the original town long ago.
Oh,
Oh, now I remember. Yeah, it's been a while.
You can't
extra
use
sassy
being
today.
old as an excuse for being
true.
culturally insensitive.
you know what? You're right. I'll try to do
That
better.
is so last century of you.
Try, you need to do better.
Yeah, you're right.
Very well.
So, it's
You're right. I'll do better. I was doing the exact same thing to poor Tobias that I had just claimed others were doing. And to Wayne, I guess, unintentionally.
Tobias!
Tobias! I already know where this is going, so you don't have to...
Tell him
Hey,
what you did right now.
Tobias, I'm sorry. We were talking about Wayne for a minute, and I accidentally referred to you as Wayne, which is apparently something that was already happened to you today.
Dear.
Something
It's
that's
the second
already
time
happened to you today. I know, I know, and that's what I was just trying to get at. And my brain got all scrambled.
Tail.
I know, you don't have a really big tail or anything like that.
He's not even fat.
This is Tobias and not Wayne.
But
Wayne's the
Wayne isn't fat either. You were just saying that.
Exactly.
No, the polite word is rotund.
Yes, neither of them are rotund.
Yes, like how Harry is quite
robust
rotund,
physique.
and we still like them.
Yes,
a lot.
look at how rotund he is. Very well. He did have 3 cakes today, you see, and half a
Yeah,
bottle
3?
of wine.
Wow.
3 entire cakes.
He earned it honestly.
Look, yes, I've
He's bulking, you see. Right, of course, yes.
Did Ivy make them all?
I'm going to go check on her.
Okay.
Good question, actually.
Now, this is a plain
Hmm.
cheesecake.
Have you met Ted?
The cheesecake. And put
You've
stuff
been
on
really
it.
sassy today.
You
I like it. Keep it up.
You could put like a strawberry.
Let's go take a look.
berries.
Well, that's what happens when people decide to talk about things next to my stall the entire day.
I see, I see. By the way, I heard you're trying to gain an 100% employment rate to the town. I heard that recently.
Not 100%.
It's really
What have you
good.
got there?
A bit, since it seems
Cheesecake.
It's cheesecake.
unemployed.
Cheesecake.
It has nothing to do with cheese.
No, Harry, come on now.
It has a little bit to do with
Okay,
cheese.
just one slice, just one.
So it does have something to do with the cheese.
Well, we gotta make sure, we gotta save one for Nerta.
Wait, of course.
I think we have 3 slices.
Cut one off for Nata, and I'll look after it.
I am going to not let you do that.
Okay, I probably would have eaten that.
John, are you eating a piece of cheesecake?
What
Yes.
if we make it a courier
We got
mission?
3 slices left.
I will refrain.
I can do that.
My urges are strong, but I will refrain.
Don't worry, well, we'll just give you a slice to Harry here.
Harry's gonna have to wait.
We set up
Also, Fizwick. Fizwick needs a slice as well.
Yes.
Oh, well. Well, this is how it is, I guess.
She's always out
Patience makes it taste better.
Say this is
No.
her work.
Harry, where have you been by
Not
the way?
that she is a fae, perhaps. That the fact is that she is a fae, and she lives in
Eating
the
every
He's a very worthy gentleman, Harry,
I'll
you
go
see.
get Fizwick.
She also helped
Been
set up
far
all
and
the
wide, I'm certain.
big gyms in the ley
Hey,
line
Ryder.
communication system we're setting up.
Hey.
Yeah.
What'd she say? What'd she say?
You've had cheesecake before, right?
What?
Please go ahead.
Got-
Yeah, not exactly a personal favorite of mine, though.
We got 3 slices of cheesecake.
Alright, then
left.
never
You might
mind.
want to grab one.
Unfortunately.
Okay, wait a second.
Please get
What were
one.
you
I
saying?
don't know.
Okay, fine.
the person's
Do you
name.
want one too? I'll get one for you too.
No, thank you, I'm fine.
I don't either, as a matter of
Okay.
fact.
Where's the cheesecake? I want to try the cheesecake.
We
Where's it?
already cut
Where's
you a
it?
slice.
It's right
Oh,
there.
thank you. Yes. My goodness.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. It's a big hit, a very big hit. Wonderful.
Doesn't taste like cheese at all, but it's
No,
delicious.
It's not actually cheese.
Quite good, yes.
Cheesecake. I don't
Very sweet.
understand. Weird, strange.
Very sweet.
And apparently you can put more stuff on it to get like different flavors.
Yes. You know what would go great with this? Strawberry. We should make that strawberry
Put strawberry,
cheesecake.
chocolate, cheese. You put all sorts of things on it.
Strawberry would go great for the
Grasshoppers
you
add a
know.
delightfully nutty flavor.
I'm sorry. No, what?
Grasshoppers will be good.
Grasshoppers are nice.
No, we're not
good.
adding grasshoppers to it. No. Hang on.
Maybe some roaches for an extra little crunch.
No. Oh my
maybe we
gosh,
should-
no.
Perhaps we should bring
No,
that
no.
up with the bakers.
Us humans cannot
Personally, I
eat
prefer
bugs
ball.
like that. There are
You don't
weird
want-
ones
you don't
that
want-
do, but we can't.
Listen, you don't want cockroaches.
No,
or-
you
or
absolutely
crickets
can.
in your cake, do you?
And
No.
have,
Okay,
no.
have you ever had
Perhaps a
survival
grasshopper
training?
meat pie.
I mean,
By the way,
yeah,
you
you
look
can.
better.
Hey,
It's not
Nothing
great.
wrong
It's
with
not
beetles.
long
We
term, but
always had
it's
beetles.
you
Beetles look good.
absolutely can to survive.
Oh, yeah.
Hard pass.
By the way,
You want some
I see your
cheesecake?
arm- how's the arm? Is he doing better?
Trust
Hard
me, you
pass.
will
Fine for a couple
you
days
will
now.
rethink that when you're stuck in the woods
That's
and
good to
you
hear.
have no way to get to civilization
I
and
was
you're
concerned
stuck
for
there
some
for
time, but I noticed you were going back
however,
out
and you're
doing
not
things,
gonna
so
be
I
able to
assumed it was
hunt.
okay, but I realized I never asked.
I have. I've been stuck in the forest, but guess what? I found a fucking river to eat
Definitely
fish.
been out doing things, so.
And what about the situations where you can't
Fish
fish?
over bugs.
A couple past days.
Then
Make some fish once in a
Yes.
while,
I eat
but
plants.
not all the time.
I'm not crunching on no
Not to
bugs.
get,
You need
upset,
protein.
bring the mood down, but
No.
I think a lesser person honestly would have been crushed
Meat.
under the things you've gone through the last few days. So I wanted to let you know I feel you're very
Can you
strong.
put meat in
and
cheesecake?
That
Ew, no. That just sounds
not
disgusting.
really.
if you need
No.
anybody to
At that
speak
point, you
to,
might as well
No,
say
I know
meat
they-
pie.
you
You
know,
know,
they-
pot
they
pie.
more of a
care about
pie.
you, but for whatever reason,
Grasshopper
if you could be
pot
as
pie.
well, just know my ear is
sounds
always
good.
available as well.
I'll be right
You've always
back.
been someone who's been very nice to speak to.
Y'all are
Be it
insane.
through scientific notation or other things. So
What's
I
wrong
wanted
I
with
to
lived
you?
on a
make sure
mountain. We
if
ate
you
what we
needed it.
could get.
It is
Thank you,
nasty.
Fizwick. You've always
grew up
been
in
a
the forest,
wonderful
you know?
friend to me as well, and a good teacher
course.
too.
Ah, yes.
Grotesque.
I
Slurping
appreciate
down
that.
worms and caterpillars?
This is a hello.
No, just no.
I was told to come find
Just
you
no. That's
for
nasty.
assistance.
No.
Centipedes.
Oh, okay.
As
Hello.
well.
Yes, Fizwick, alchemist by trade. What
You see,
might
we
I
only
call
have the
you,
little
friend?
ones, so they're not very common where I
They know
come
me
from.
as Varian.
I know we had like
okay.
big
Pleasure
ones.
to meet you. What can I do for you, friend?
Not like as big as a ball, but they were
strong grip.
big.
Okay.
Like one of my
While
feathers
I'm
big.
indeed a paladin of the Silver Imperial
Were they
Order,
good?
And I do know how to speak the Imperial or common tongue, as you know, Tyr. I'm not able to write or understand your language and script.
Oh. Yes, that's something we can work with. Perhaps we head over to the library. Perhaps I actually was just teaching a shadeling how to learn how to how to read, so I can potentially help you out with that. Although I think
I know the bookcase that contains the simple books.
True, that too. If you'd like to come along, I was going to ask Ivy to assist, but I imagine her hands are very full today. So, if you'd like to come along, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
excellent.
actually looking for Ivy.
Ivy,
Ivy is.
I think she's in the bakery.
Last I saw her, she had to go apologize to Wayne. She must be in the bakery.
I'm gonna
I made the
grab the
request,
last two
Ted.
pieces and try to find
Nerta.
Yeah.
Haven't seen her
I
around.
wanted to offer this
in
fellow
some
one, but they
time.
didn't respond.
Yeah. Seems like that they're not much of a talkative person.
I had a bird ask for some grasshopper pot pie. I have to go back up on the hill to go get some. Be careful that they don't burn the bakery down. I'll be back in
I
just a
am
moment.
beating the dough. She is beating.
Oh. I mean, I suppose I could just check in here.
Did you get left alone, Nim?
What?
But do you have a last name, darling? Weren't you with Tyron earlier?
Well, maybe you can choose your own.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes.
Thought about it.
It should be orange.
What to think about that?
Well, sure, but yes, I do not wish to keep it.
Again.
Have you tried strapping a pillow to the back of your head?
I don't faint often, mister. Again, I remember it's a P.
That's not the dough. The dough is inside of.
We should come up with a more
You're
efficient way
just
to do
punching the
this.
stove.
Well, if you have a good
Hi,
way
Jen.
to
Hey.
Thank
kill
you.
the grasshoppers
Of course.
without completely destroying them, let me know. Oh, I heard one turn the on for a bit when make them stop die.
You need a little stepping stool back there, bro.
If you want to use them.
Yes, absolutely, to practice writing as well. That'd probably likely be something you'd want to learn.
Or if that chair could be moved, that could also be a thing.
Indeed.
Well, if you have any other questions, I suppose seek me out. And if you need anything magical looked at, the Alchemical Society of Magical Research, or ASMR, is located further down. You'll notice a
Wow, I'm
large
too far
tower
away.
by the portal that leads.
No, I'm sorry.
Any coin to a circle. I expend so.
Not that there's anything to spend on anyway.
You can do it, Nim. I believe in you.
Maybe you could tame some rats.
That's not the same.
Tell them what
though.
to do. Maybe you should get some servants.
I mean, we could. We could give it to her. Or we give it to Wayne.
Alright, I am going to cut it off early. My stomach is killing me again. It was originally feeling fine, and then it started killing me again. So I am going to call it night slightly early. Thank you for coming by, and I hope you all have a wonderful